Hello, buddy students. Myself, Dr. PITAMBAR HUMANE, founder Botany for You, and working as professor and head department of botany, Dharampeth M Deo Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra. I welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. Friends, if you are new or not yet subscribed our YouTube channel, then kindly like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. And also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on different life sciences titles. And if you want to associate with us through the Telegram group, then the link is given in the description so that you can take the advantage of the literature assistance in the form of PDF as well as the career opportunities in life sciences in India and abroad. Friends, in our last lecture, we have seen the different 60 MCQ type of the questions based on the plant pathology, that is the unit 2 of the paper 2 botany from the semester 1 prescribed by the RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. In today's class, we will see again the 60 MCQ type of the questions based on the third unit and this unit based on the Bryophyta. So let's see first the syllabus of this unit. In this unit, there are the different topics like the classification which is proposed by the Proskuer in 1957, then general characteristics of the Hepaticopsida, Anthoceratopsida and Bryophyta, then economic importance and alternation of generation in Bryophyta. And the three genera, that is the Marchantia, Anthoceros and Funaria in the form of life cycle or the life history. So friends, we'll see the different MCQ type of the questions based on these different topics of the unit. The first question, that is, which of the following are the characteristics of Bryophytes? Number 1, the plant body is thallus-like. If we see the structure of Marchantia or Anthoceros, such a type of the thallus is there, that is, the root, stem and the leaves are found to be absent in the Bryophyte, and hence first statement is correct. Then sex organs are surrounded by the sterile cells, that in the class of the algae we have already seen that the sterile cells around the sex organs are found to be absent. But in the Bryophyte there are the presence of the sterile cell around the sex organs, and hence this is also the correct statement. Then dominant phase of the life cycle is gametophyte. If we see the algae, then fungi and Bryophyta, the dominant phase of the life cycle is a gametophyte, and in Pteridophyta, gymnosperm and angiosperm, the dominant phase of the life cycle is a sporophyte, and hence this statement is also the correct, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. Then according to Proskuer in 1957, the class Hepaticopsida consists of, if you see the classification proposed by the Proskuer, the Hepaticopsida consists of the 4 different orders and the 9 families, and hence here the first one become the answer for this question. Then which of the following is also called as the hornworts? Basically, if you see the members of Anthocerotopsida, then they are commonly called as the hornworts. Then the well-known genus, that is the Funaria, belongs to the class. The Funaria is the moss, and the members of Bryophyta are considered as a mosses, and hence the C will be the correct answer for this question. Then diploid phase of life cycle of Bryophytes is called as, we know in plants there are the 2 different type of the phases, that is the gametophytic phase and second one is a sporophytic phase. The gametophytic phase is haploid and the sporophytic phase is diploid, and both these phases are alternating with each other, that is known as the alternation of the generation. So the diploid phase is the sporophyte, and hence B will be the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following is an economic importance of Bryophytes? Number 1, the medicinal properties, that is the correct one, that the many medicines are synthesized from the different members of the Bryophytes. Then it play active role in formation of the soil, just that in the last unit we have seen that the lichen is playing an important role in the formation of the soil, and after formation of the sufficient quantity of the soil there is a development of the bryophyte. Then pollution indicator, and this is also one of the function just like to that of the lichens, that here the bryophytes are also growing in such a type of the environmental condition where there is a absence of the pollution, and hence it is known as the pollution indicator, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. Then which of the following is first stage of sporophytic generation? If you see the gametophytic plant body, on the gametophyte there is development of Antherida and Archegonia. Antherida forming male gamete and the Archegonia forming the female gamete or the egg. Then fusion in between these two, formation of the zygote, which is diploid and the first stage of the sporophytic generation, and hence zygote will be the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following play an important role in alternation of generation in the bryophytes? So when the gametophytic phase is there, then there is a fertilization and forming the sporophytic phase, and in a sporophytic phase there is a meiosis and forming the spores which are germinating and forming the gametophyte. So the fertilization and meiosis both are the important processes in the alternation of generation in the bryophytes, and hence both A and B become the answer for this question. Then presence of photosynthetic and the storage zone in the thallus is a characteristic feature of. If you see the thallus of the Marchantia, then it is classified into the two zones. The lower one is a storage zone and the upper one is a photosynthetic zone. So such a type of the condition is not present in the Anthoceros, while the thallus of the Funaria is completely different than that of the Funaria, than that of the Anthoceros and the Marchantia, and hence the correct answer of this question becomes the Marchantia. Then presence of mucilage cavity in the thallus is found in. So if you see the thallus structure of the Anthoceros, here there is a development of the rhizoids from the lower epidermis, that is the simple rhizoids, and here there are the certain cavities that is known as the mucilage cavities, which contain the cyanobacteria, or that is the blue green algae. So this is a characteristic feature of the Anthoceros, and hence B will be the correct answer for this question. Then in Anthoceros the dash are present. So the elaters and the pseudo elaters. So in Anthoceros there are the presence of the pseudo elaters, and they are known as the pseudo because the spiral thickening in these elaters is found to be absent, and hence B will be the correct answer for this question. The condition in which development of Antherida on one branch and Archegonia on another branch on the same plant. So such type of the condition is very common in a Funaria. In Funaria, usually either there is a development of the Antherida on the one branch and the Archegonia on the another branch. So such a type of the condition as the Antherida and Archegonia are developing on the same plant, and hence it is known as the monoecious condition, and such a type of the condition developing on the different branches on the same plant, that is also known as the autoicous condition, and hence both A and B become the answer for this question. In which of the following genera the neck of Archegonium is longest and contain highest number of neck cells among it? So if we compare the Archegonia of the Funaria, then Anthoceros and the Marchantia, then the maximum length of the neck of the Archegonia is found in the Anthoceros, and hence B will be the correct answer for this question. The protective layers present around the sporophyte of Marchantia is called as, around the Marchantia sporophyte, there are the different layers which are known as the calyptra, perichytium and the perigynum, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. If you see the structure of sporophyte, here there is a presence of the calyptra and then the perichytium and the perigynum. So such type of the structure is present here. Then which of the following protective layer of sporophyte is innermost? So out of these three layers, the innermost layer is the calyptra, and hence the calyptra is the innermost, then perigynum and then the perichytium, and hence innermost becomes now the calyptra. Then all the dioecious species are found in, if you see, the Anthoceros and Funaria, in which the monoecious and dioecious both species are present, but all the species of Marchantia are strictly dioecious. It means that the male plant and the female plant in the Marchantia are always different, and hence the A will be the correct answer for this question. Then reproductive organs like Antherida and Archegonia in Marchantia develops on. If you see the thallus of Marchantia, say for example, if it is the male thallus, then here there will be the development of such a type of the structure, and that is known as the Antheridiophore. And if it is a female, then it is known as the Archegoniophore. It means that there is a development of Antherida and the Archegonia on the Antheridiophore and Archegoniophore respectively. Then presence of Gymma cup is a characteristic feature of the thallus. So don't confuse this question, that because we are very commonly consider that the presence of the Gymma cup on the thallus of the Marchantia, but the same type of the Gymma cup is also developed by the thallus of the Anthoceros, and hence the both A and B become the answer for this question, because the Gymma cup is found on the thallus of Marchantia also and the Anthoceros also. Then vegetative or the asexual reproduction in Marchantia takes place by. Then gymmi are formed on the thallus of the Marchantia, hence it is correct. Again, by the fragmentation, this is the common method of the vegetative reproduction in the bryophytes, and again the development of the adventitious branches, this is also one of the common method of the vegetative reproduction in the Marchantia, and hence all these three are the different vegetative reproduction in the Marchantia, and hence answer becomes D. Then presence of paraphysis and perigonial leaves is a characteristic feature of. So this type of the structure are developing in a Funaria on a male branch, where there is a development of the antheridium, and hence the antheridial branch will be the correct answer for this question. Then again the perichytial leaves and the perichytium is a characteristic feature of the female branch, and that is known as the archegonial branch, and hence the correct answer becomes now B. Then which of the following thallus is dorsiventrally flat? Dorsiventrally flat, that is having the dorsal side and the ventral side, and with this respect here the Marchantia and the Anthoceros both are the dorsiventrally flat, while the thallus of the Funaria is erect, and hence here both these are the correct one, that is the C. Then the central sterile part of the sporophyte is called as. So if we see the sporophyte of the Anthoceros, then the central part is columella, and again in a Funaria there is a presence of a central part, and this is also the columella. So this central part which is sterile, and that is known as the columella. Then which of the following is hygroscopic and help in dispersal of the spores? So the main function of the elater is to disperse the spores during dehiscence of the sporophyte, but such type of the elaters are found to be absent in the Bryopsida, but instead of that in the capsule there are the presence of the peristome teeth, which are again hygroscopic and help in dispersal of the spores, and hence both A and B become the answer for this question. Then vegetative reproduction in Anthoceros takes place by number 1, that is the formation of tubers. This is a characteristic feature of the Anthoceros. Then apospory, that the development of the sporophyte from the gametophytic tissue, then fragmentation, and then all the above. So all these three, that is the formation of tubers, apospory and fragmentation, become the answer in the form of vegetative reproduction by the Anthoceros, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. Then bryophytes are known as amphibians of plant kingdom because if we see the bryophytes or alternation of generation in the bryophyte, here they are the first land plants, number 1, and second one, they need water for the reproduction as their gametes or the antherozoids are motile and flagellated. It means that grow on the land and require the water for the sexual reproduction, and because of that here they are considered as amphibians of the plant kingdom, and hence answer becomes C. Then which of the following characters shows terrestrial nature of bryophytes? Number 1, rhizoids, then air pore. So the rhizoids are responsible to anchor the plant body in the soil. It means that it is a terrestrial character. Then when the plant is growing on the soil, there is a need of the exchange of the gases, that is the oxygen and the carbon dioxide, for the photosynthesis and the respiration also. It means that both A and B are the terrestrial characteristic features of the bryophyte. Then presence of pyrenoid is a characteristic feature of. Usually this is a characteristic feature of algae, but if we find the same type of the structure, that is the proteinous body, in the Anthoceros cells also, which shows the relationship of the bryophytes with that of the algae, and hence answer becomes A. Then which of the following class of Bryophyta represent with the maximum number of species? If we compare the total number of species of the Hepaticopsida, Anthocerotopsida and the Bryopsida, then the maximum number of species are present in the Bryopsida class. Then which of the following type of scales are present in the Marchantia? So the simple scales, which are also known as the ligulate scales, and the second one, that is the appendiculate scale. So such a type of the simple scales are there, and such again there are the appendiculate type of the scales. So both type of the scales are found to be present on the thallus of the Marchantia, and hence C will be the correct answer for this question. Then assimilatory filaments in Marchantia are, earlier we have seen that the thallus is divided into the two parts, that is the photosynthetic zone and second one is the storage zone, and here there are the photosynthetic filaments are present, and these photosynthetic filaments, they are either branched or they are unbranched. So the branched filament, correct one, unbranched filaments, correct one, and these are itself the photosynthetic filament, and it contain the chloroplast, and hence photosynthetic in nature, it is also the correct, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. The structure that secretes mucilage and protects the growing point from the desiccation in Marchantia thallus is called as. So in a Marchantia thallus, in the notch, there is a presence of a growing point, and here there is a presence of one of the structure which is responsible for the synthesis of the mucilage, which is protective in function to that of the growing point, and this is known as the papilla. Then presence of two types of rhizoids, that is the simple and tuberculate rhizoid, is a characteristic feature of the Marchantia, and in a Anthoceros only the simple type of the rhizoids are present. It means that here the Marchantia will be the answer for this question, as the Anthoceros and the Funaria can only produce the simple rhizoids. Then which of the following is absent in Anthoceros thallus? Number 1, that is the tuberculate rhizoids are absent in the Anthoceros thallus, correct one. Then scales are not found, means absent. Then mucilaginous hairs are also absent, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. The pseudo-elaters in Anthoceros are, earlier we have seen that why they are considered as a pseudo-elaters, because they don't have the spiral thickenings. This is one. Again, they are hygroscopic in nature, and hence they are the elaters. They are either branched or they are unbranched, and this is also the correct with respect to the elaters of the Anthoceros, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. Then presence of operculum, peristome and annulus are sporophyte characters of. So such a type of the structures are only present in the Funaria sporophyte or the capsule. Then which of the following characters are Anthocerotopsida? So the presence of mucilage cavity in the thallus, which is the characteristic feature of the Anthoceratopsida that we have seen in Anthoceros. Then presence of pyrenoid in each cell, that is also we have seen in the Anthoceros thallus, and thallus is undifferentiated internally, that is in the storage zone and the photosynthetic zone, which is again the characteristic feature that we have seen in the Anthoceros. It means that all the above become the characters of the Anthoceratopsida. Then absence of columella and intercalary meristem is characteristic feature of. So the columella is present in the Anthoceratopsida and even in the Bryophyta, but it is found to be absent in the Hepaticopsida, as we have seen the sporophyte of the Marchantia. Then which of the following is the characteristic feature of the Bryophyta? If we see this Bryophyta, then the spores germinate to form the protonema. This is the correct one. Then the plant body differentiated into the rhizoids, axis and the scales that we have seen in the plant body of the Funaria. Then the oval capsule and operculum and the peristome teeth. So such a type of the characteristic feature are there with respect to the Bryophyta, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. The only positive evidence of aquatic ancestry of bryophyte is. So if you see the thread-like protonema, this is not showing the aquatic character. Then green color is not the aquatic character, as it is also found in the terrestrial organism. Then some forms are still aquatic. There are many organisms which are aquatic and the terrestrial also. So the ciliated sperms, it means that there is need of water during their movement. It means that it shows the aquatic characteristics, and hence D will be the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following statement is false with respect to the bryophytes? Number 1, that the water is essential for the fertilization as the sperms or the antherozoids are motile or ciliate. Then presence of Archegonia in the bryophyte is a common. Then presence of ciliated sperms, this is also the same to that of the water is essential for the fertilization. Then the presence of autotrophic independent sporophyte, this is wrong one, because in the bryophytes the sporophyte is depend on the gametophyte, and hence D will be the correct answer for this question. Then specialized organ of sporophyte for attachment to the gametophyte is called as. So we know the foot, seta and the capsule. So this foot part is responsible to attach the sporophyte to that of the gametophyte, and capsule is responsible for the formation of the spores, and seta may be long or the short, depend upon the type of the plant, and it is responsible for the height of the capsule, and hence foot will be the correct answer for this question. Then bryophyte differ from pteridophytes in being. See, the bryophyte differ from pteridophyte. Number one, non-vascular, that the pteridophyte are the vascular and the bryophyte are the non-vascular, and hence it is the correct one. Seeded, wrong one, because the bryophyte and pteridophyte both do not form the seeds. Then vascular, bryophyte are not vascular, and hence it is wrong one, and it is gametophytic and not the sporophytic, and hence A will be the correct answer for this question. If the chromosome number in leaf of Funaria is 20, then what will be the chromosome number in the spores? So, if we see the spore, they germinate to form the gametophyte, and the leaf is the part of the gametophyte. It means that the equal number of chromosomes will be present in the spores, that is the haploid condition, as well as haploid condition in the gametophyte. It means that in the leaf exactly. So, the same 20 number will be the same, that is the A will be the correct answer for this question. Then bryophytes flourish in moist and shady places because. So, if you see the moist and shady places, it means that there is need of the water for the transport or the movement of the gametes from Antheridium to the Archegonium, and hence their gametes fuse in presence of the water, and hence they grow in the moist and the shady places, and hence D will be the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following statement is not true for the Bryophyta? Not true. Their spores germinate to produce the gametophyte, that we have seen earlier, correct one. Then their zygote undergo the meiosis and then produce the sporophyte, wrong one. The sporophyte produce the spores in the meiosis. Then they are photosynthetic. This is correct one. They lack the tracheids and the sieve tubes. This is also the correct one. So, here there is not the meiosis during formation of the sporophyte, but the sporophyte undergo the meiosis and forming the haploid spores for the development of the gametophyte, and hence B is not correct statement. Then spore mother cell in bryophyte is. So, the spore mother cell is responsible for the formation of the spores, which is the first stage of the gametophytic generation, and it means that this will be haploid. So, the spore mother cell on meiosis producing the spores, it means that it will be the diploid, and hence B will be the correct answer for this question. Sporogenous tissue is amphithecal in origin. So, the sporogenous tissue of the Anthoceros are amphithecal in origin, and hence B is correct answer for this question. Then the Funaria is bryophyte because, if you see the Funaria, then the sporophyte is attached to the gametophyte, and this is a characteristic feature of the Bryophyta, that the sporophyte is dependent on the gametophyte, and hence C will be the correct answer for this question. The air cavities in capsule of moths are partitioned with a delicate strands of cells, and these are called as. So, if we see the structure of the sporophyte, then we will find there is a presence of such a type of the partitions, and these partitions are known as the trabeculae, and hence B will be the correct answer for this question. The dehiscence of moth capsule takes place by the rupture of, as we have seen, the annulus ruptures and open the mouth of the capsule, and hence D will be the correct answer for this question. Then in moss sporophytes, which of the following is absent? As we have seen earlier, the presence of elaters is a characteristic feature of the Hepaticopsida and Anthocerotopsida, and such a type of the elaters are found to be absent in the Bryopsida, and hence D will be the correct answer for this question, as well as the foot, seta and the columella, these are present in the sporophyte of the mosses. In some of the liverworts, spore dispersal is aided by the presence of elaters, and hence A will be the correct answer, while in case of the mosses, it is carried out with the help of peristomtid. A characteristic feature of bryophytes is number 1, a dominant and parasitic sporophyte, then a dominant and spore producing gametophyte. Gametophyte is not involved in the production of the spores. A small sporophytic phase which is dependent on the gametophyte, this is correct one. Then the sporophyte stay for a longer duration, it is wrong one. The gametophyte stay for the longer duration, and hence here the correct answer becomes C. The antherozoids of Funaria are, the antherozoids in the Funaria are biflagellated, that is provided with the two flagella. In the bryophytes, there are either the antherozoids are biflagellate or the multiflagellate, but in the Funaria they are the biflagellated, and hence the B will be correct answer. Then who among the following is regarded as father of Indian bryology? Professor S.R. Kashyap is well known as a father of Indian bryology. Then among the following, which is not characteristic feature of the Bryophyta? Number 1, the motile sperm, they are found in the Bryophyta. Then presence of Archegonium, that is present. Then water essential for the fertilization, this is also the correct. Then the photosynthetically independent sporophyte. The sporophyte is depend on the gametophyte, and hence it is not the characteristic feature of the Bryophyta, and hence D will be the correct answer for this question. The last stage of gametophytic generation is, so if you see the gametophytic plant body producing the Antherida, then Archegonia, then Antherida male gamete, Archegonia female gamete, forming the gametes by both, that is the male gamete, female gamete, and then formation of the zygote after their fusion. So here the gametes will be the last stage of the gametophytic generation, and hence A will be the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following is true moss? Number 1, the club moss is a pteridophyte. Then reindeer moss and Irish moss, these are the lichens, and the big moss is a Bryopsida. It means that it is a Bryophyta, and hence D will be the correct answer, that is it is a true moss, means it is a bryophyte which comes under the Bryopsida. Then which place in India is called the golden mine of liverworts, means where the liverworts grow very nicely? Here the western Himalaya is the place where the abundant growth of the liverworts is there, and hence B will be the correct answer for this question. Friends, I am very much hopeful and confident that this lecture will be helpful to you in preparation of your online examinations conducted by your colleges as well as the universities. Thank you very much for watching this lecture completely. Friends, if you like this lecture and if it is beneficial to you, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You, and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on different life sciences titles. And don't forget to join the Telegram group with the link given in the description, so that you can take the advantage of the literature assistance in the form of PDF as well as the career opportunities in life sciences in India and abroad. And if you want to contact with us, then kindly visit our website www.botanyforyou.com. Thanks a lot once again.